call to the member for Paterson.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Climate Change and Energy. How has the Albanese Labor government acted to shield Australians from the worst of the global energy crisis? And what will this mean for energy bills? And what approaches has the government rejected?
Give the call to the Minister for Climate Change and Energy.
Well, thanks very much, Mr Speaker, and I thank my honourable friend for her question and recognise her leadership as a strong regional voice in this parliament, ensuring that our regions benefit from the clean energy revolution underway. Now, Mr Speaker, the honourable member asked about what we have done to shield Australians from rising energy prices, and as she will recall, in December this government intervened, and we intervened again in the budget, and as a result, the figures show in our home state of New South Wales, energy prices which were projected to rise by 40%. For those who received the rebates, they've fallen by 5%. In Queensland, energy prices were projected to rise by 43%. They've fallen by 10%. Or in South Australia, it's another example. They were projected to rise by 51%. And they've fallen by 5%, Mr Speaker, for those who received the rebate. So that's the result of this government's intervention. And of course, this was opposed by those opposite. The shadow treasurers tried to say that they were for it, but the Leader of the Opposition, to give him credit, has cleared that up. He's cleared that up. He was at the APIA conference last week. He was railing against the government's intervention. He was railing against our policies, and he promised to repeal them. Repeal the gas and coal cap, repeal the Code of Conduct, repeal safeguards. Not sure about PRRT, but he was dead against it, Mr Speaker. He was promising to repeal it all. He told us he was inspired by Reagan. Inspired by Reagan, Mr Speaker. He was channeling his inner Reagan. I'm not sure which Reagan. I suspect it might be Nancy. Remember, just say no, she said. Nancy Reagan was just say no, and he's inspired by Nancy Reagan's approach. But I give credit where it's due. We're always fair. The Leader of the Opposition has been outlining a bit of policy. We saw a bit of policy in his budget reply, a little bit. He doubled down on the member for Fairfax's plan for nuclear energy for Australia. He backed it in. It wasn't so much Reaganomics, it was Dutton-omics. He didn't have any costings. I mean, a small modular reactor would cost $5 billion. The Leader of the Nationals has called for Liddell to be replaced by a nuclear reactor. That would cost $35 billion, Mr Speaker. You know, Ronald Reagan, they had no cost. I'm happy to provide them. I'm just assisting those opposite who haven't provided any costings because they've got a thought bubble about nuclear energy. This is Dutton-omics. The answer to higher power prices now, in his idea, is to introduce the most expensive form of energy and the slowest form of energy. Ronald Reagan had trickled-down economics. The Leader of the Opposition's got scribbled-down policies.